What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Rob the God back at you with another video. And as you read the title, that is correct. Today on this channel, we'll be doing our first ever shoe customization. As you may or may not know, these shoes dropped last year, November 2019. And I really slept on them when they first dropped, but I ended up picking up a pair not too long after. And I really love how complex and simple they are at the same time, with the numerous details and how it's a relatively simple colorway. And as you can see from the cracking on the paint, I've really worn it a lot. Hence the top 5 shoe in my it's a top 5 shoe in my category. But as far as the spur in the moment thinking, this account that I follow on Twitter posted these, and as soon as I saw these, I thought of a alternate version of these, and then I was like, hey, why don't I do it myself? So what I'm gonna do is take you guys through it with me and let's have a go at it. And also, if these shoes are still available and you want them, I'll put the link in the description below. For this custom, you'll obviously need paintbrushes, wipes, leather deglazer to take off the factory finish on top of the leather, flat white paint and regular white paint, a finisher for when you're done with everything, an ultra fine point black Sharpie, masking painter tape, cotton balls, and something to help everything dry off faster so everything goes faster and takes less time. So we'll start off by using the wipes to thoroughly clean the midsole and outsole of the shoes to make sure that we have a clean canvas to work with when we start painting. Now we're going to use the masking tape to make sure the paint only goes where you want it to go. In this case, it's going to be this little stripe that we're going to do on the back of the shoe, and it just goes as follows. Now we'll thoroughly shake up our paint and we'll get to painting. There's already a coat or two of paint applied here, so just follow along with the strokes. I'd say get in 4 or 5 coats of paint to make sure that there isn't any black showing underneath it. But yeah, just make sure your strokes are thorough, dry it off, and repeat. After that, we'll use the finisher to lock the paint in and make sure that it doesn't scratch as easily. Make sure you shake it thoroughly for like 1 to maybe even 3 minutes to make sure that the solution mixes up well and make sure that the finisher is effective on the paint. Apply around 3 coats of it to the painted area and we should be good. Make sure you're drying it off after each coat to make sure that you have a proper coat going. After everything's dried, we're going to take off the tape, and on my first try it didn't come out as neat as I wanted it to, but it's actually not too bad. I can just use a knife to get rid of the excess tape. So yeah. Now we're gonna try our best to match up the paint markings on the midsole that are on the bottom pair onto the top pair that we're customizing. When it comes to this part, it really depends on how good you are with the paintbrush and how skilled you are. When it came to matching the fading, I did my best, but I could have done better if I was more skilled. So this is the result of my first attempt. It's not a perfect exact copy of the other pair that I showed you, but it looks pretty good and I get better at it as I go forward with this custom. Alright guys, don't forget to shake and apply thoroughly your finisher to your finished white coats of paint to make sure that that paint doesn't come off while you're wearing it, because you would hate to have to do everything over again, right? Just a friendly reminder. Here I'm just showing you guys using my heater. This is how I get the coats done quick. I let the heater run across the paint for around 30 seconds to make sure each coat is thoroughly dry before moving on to the next one. And yeah, that's just really it for this clip. Here we're just taking off the tape from the first attempt. Now, one thing about the midsole on these shoes is that because it's of a different material, some of the adhesive might stick to it, but it comes off pretty easily. You can just take a paper towel or your finger to rub it off and you'll be fine. Now after taking off the tape, you finished off the first side on the first shoe. I'd say it came out pretty good for a first attempt. Now what we're going to do is apply it to the other side of this shoe and then do the same with the other shoe. Now we're going to do a quick lace swap on the shoes. This is one of the more important and key details on this custom, I'd say. Taking out the regular laces shouldn't take long, honestly. We're gonna replace them with these black laces that came with the other shoe. They're larger, puffy, have details, and I'd say that they bring more character to this custom, and I like that. Moving on, we're gonna be applying these PeaceMinusOne sigils to the extra eyelets on the custom. They each have a different logo for the brand, a daisy and the alternated peace sign. I said they're as important of a detail to the custom as the laces, and since I'm more of a detail kind of guy, I really like them and they make it for me. Now we're going to be using masking tape to secure the back tab of the shoe, so you can turn it from black and white to white and black. This is so that we don't get any unnecessary paint or anything else onto the collar or where we don't want it to get to. And please, please, please remember to use the deglazer on the back of the tab to get rid of the factory finish, because if you don't and you put the regular paint on, it's not going to come out well. After applying 8 to even 10 coats of paint on the back just to make sure that the black doesn't show, take your fine point Sharpie and trace over everything on the back. That means the Nike, the swoosh, and the Air. If you're good enough and you have black paint of the same brand, I'd say use that if you trust yourself enough. And yeah, after tracing over it with a Sharpie, I applied 3 coats of finisher, and here are the results. I'd say it came out pretty good and pretty crisp for a first try. Alright, so now that we're finally done, we went from what we started off with this to this, which is the finished product. So I put on all the extra little details, so I made it match the original that I was basing it off of. And honestly, I'd say it came out pretty good, and I can't wait to wear these. I'm gonna show you some more up close details in the next few shots. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think we did a pretty good job on these, and I love how they came out. But besides that, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment down below, and even subscribe. But until next time, peace.